like every time.
For me, everyone was at the same time, so.
Oh, nobody was at the same time for me. I was first,
Damn.
then Martin, then Diddy.
Everyone was at the same time for me.
That reminds me of a song I've been listening to recently by the Beatles, which goes a little bit something like this. Come together right now over me.
West Virginia.
Yeah, it's a really good song. Welcome,
Alabama.
Country road, take me home.
Olsen is a professional singer.
That's
So
my favorite song.
It's our first day of the Advent calendar with Marta Olsen Diddy.
Woo! Is it an Advent calendar?
I don't know.
12 days of Christmas.
We're open. Yeah, we're opening now the physical day one. And we jump into the podcast.
For viewers, or for listeners, I mean, he dove head first into something and shook his head around and made these noises.
I was going into the podcast. I just
thought the listeners would want like a kind of a clear vision into what I am seeing.
Yeah, and of course we have to now always say, like, if you're listening to us on the new streaming side, Apple Podcast, please rate us 5 stars, because there you can do that. We have to get 5 stars so people notice.
We better.
That's why we also can give us 5 stars.
Yes, please go on Apple and give us 5 stars. Thank you. Who's gonna tell us about the Christmas? Yes. No, what Santa is coming tonight.
Let me just check it out. You lads.
He's not even prepared, and I'm
not prepared. Icelandic Christmas folklore. The second, the second Christmas, no, the second Yule lad comes tonight, and his name is Giljagur. In English, that would be Gully Gawk.
It reminds me of Donald Duck.
So, and as we said last time, all the Yule lads have something special about them, and Gully Gawk likes to hide in gullies, waiting for an opportunity to sneak into the cowshed and steal milk. So he likes to steal milk. He arrives on the 13th of December and departs 26th of December. That's right.
Ooh.
And are you gonna give us this poem?
Do I have to find the poem?
Language.
You
We don't say bad words like this.
Where did I find the poem for the... Shit.
Language again.
Oh my god, Lionel Richie has joined us.
Hello. Yeah, he's here. Wow. Is it me?
Poem.
Yes, Lionel, it's you. Yes, we are still waiting here live. Brought you live by Gatorade.
The second was Gully Gawk. Grey his head and mean, he snuck into the cow barn from his craggy ravine. Hiding in the stalls, he would steal the milk, while the milkmaid gave the cowherd a meaningful smile. That was it. That was terrible.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
yeah, that was. I think Giljagur is nobody's favorite.
Like, yeah.
Is there?
He's just like a perv.
He's the second child.
Yeah.
True.
Crying
Just
in
Just like me.
Exposed.
Aw.
I want to find this
Alright,
poem in
so
Icelandic if it was available. But
yeah, I mean it probably is. It must be somewhere.
yeah, that's what I thought. Well,
Mhm. That's what
let's
you
move
thought.
on.
Yes. To our third part of the amazing story
Wait,
that Marta is
wait.
trying to tell us.
Before we do that,
Well, this
before
is
we go
only
on.
the second part of this story.
Oh, wait. You let.
What did
is
you
it?
guys get in your Christmas shoe from Stekkaster?
I got the candy Stöður.
Oh.
You know what it is? It's like
Ooh,
a
classic.
It's like a vapory chocolate with some white fudge on the inside. You bite it and it like oozes out, and you're like, oh yeah, baby.
I got a lollipop, and I have eaten it, as you can hear. This is the wrapping from my
Definitely,
lollipop.
you're approving, and I'm also touching my Stöður. My Stöður is like.
He's already filled himself up with his
Stuff.
stuff. That's. I got a mandarin.
Clementine.
Lucky.
Are we gonna have to go into the difference between clementines and mandarins?
Yeah,
You are
they're
not just
the
saying
same.
the nation of mandarins. You're just being racist.
Clementines
No.
is a word for a collection of fruits, of which a mandarin is one of. Okay, move on.
Olsen says ignore.
No, I was looking at the TV for a moment. So that, yeah, okay. Go on, yes, hello.
Hashtag
Martha, go on.
ignored. Okay, so this is the second part of this story.
Can we get a recap?
Of am I the asshole for telling my sister that she should have expected to be outshone by her best friend at her wedding?
Mm-hmm.
So, as a recap, Anne and Ruby were best friends. Anne got engaged to... What was his
Who cares?
name?
John. Dave.
Dave.
Almost.
Dave.
You need to know this.
And right when she got engaged, she stopped talking to Ruby, and then she didn't make Ruby maid of honor and everything. And then on the wedding day, she was like super angry at Ruby for dressing inappropriately, but she didn't really. And the sister who wrote this was like, you should have expected that. You know how Ruby dresses like. And then she got a call from Dave, and he was asking like if the groomsmen had been inappropriate, and she was like no. And Ruby had no idea what was going on, and then she got a call from Dave again, asking or saying that he wanted Ruby as his best woman, but Anne wanted wanted her as her maid of honor, and that's why Ruby wasn't in the bridal party, and asking her if Ruby knew about this, and she was like, I don't know. And she was very confused why he wanted her as his best woman, and yeah, Dave like laughed and
it was
hung
very
up or
strange.
something.
Everything is very strange.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, that was where he left. He was like laughing and being like asking if they were inappropriate and if Ruby knew about the whole situation with the best woman and stuff. And then he hung up, and Anne was talking on the phone with the dad. And yeah, that's where we left off. And the person said that finally we will probably find out what the heck is happening. So,
We hope so.
update number 3 from this person. There has been a lot of shouting and tears today. Honestly, I'm exhausted. But so many people have commented for the update, so here it is. I'm still kind of in shock. Anne has been lying to just about everyone. The story is very complicated and long. This list is actually what I use to wrap my head around it. My own head around it. It's all the facts I have in chronological order.
Okay.
Okay. So are
the
you guys
sister-
ready?
sister
This
has
is
been
where you get to
lying this
know.
whole time about her.
Yes.
Of course.
About a lot of stuff. Okay,
She's a liar and a thief.
so number 1. Dave has been to jail. and is an ex-drug addict. He met Ruby before he met Anne.
Oh,
After he recovered, he was really struggling with money, and Ruby helped him a lot. He considers her one of his closest friends.
Oh dear.
Twist.
2 years later, Dave was doing well at his job and much more stable and functional. Around this time, Ruby introduced him to Anne. So earlier in the story, she said that she thought he hadn't met Ruby until after he started dating Anne, but that was wrong.
Yeah.
3. Anne was very reluctant to have a relationship with Dave because of his past, but she had strong feelings for him. Eventually, they began dating, but she was still ashamed of the person he used to be, so she told us that they had met over a dating app. Dave consented to this at the time. 4. As Dave became more comfortable with himself and the relationship became more serious, he told Anne she needed to be honest with us about his history. She agreed to tell us, but she didn't. She told Dave that she had and wrote a fake letter from my family about how we were really grateful for his honesty and accepted him. She told Ruby that my parents had reacted really badly, so Ruby never brought it up with Dave or my family because she thought it was still a very sensitive topic. 5. When Dave proposed, Anne started freaking out about the wedding. Dave wanted people from his support group to be there, Ruby as his best woman, etc., which would expose the lies. But she still didn't want to tell us who Dave was or Dave that she had lied to him, so she decided to continue lying instead of coming clean. 6. So Anne pretended, then it has like dots, like points.
Yes.
So Anne, she pretended to be really upset that she couldn't have Ruby as her maid of honor, so she could make the argument that she should be dropped from both wedding parties. She told Dave that she had explained their decision to Ruby and that Ruby had taken issue with it to keep him happy. In reality, she knew that if Ruby knew she was meant to be the best woman, it would easily get back to me and my mom, and then raise questions from us about Ruby's relationship with Dave. So she didn't tell Ruby anything at all, and that's why Ruby was so confused about what happened and couldn't think of anything. 2. She told Dave and all of his friends from his support group that they shouldn't mention the addiction in speeches or even casual conversation because it was a sensitive subject for certain family members before the wedding.
Whoa.
She told bridesmaids so many lies about Ruby. She told them that she had a habit of causing scenes, that she was going to try and sleep with the groomsmen, that one of them was an ex-boyfriend of hers that dumped her, that she would get way too drunk and all that. Essentially, she painted Ruby as a disaster waiting to happen so the bridesmaids wouldn't listen to her, wouldn't like her, and also so that they would keep her away from certain people, specifically the ones that also knew Dave at the wedding. Anne also told the bridesmaids that the only reason that Ruby was invited is because I idolized her, so they wouldn't repeat any of the lies he told me. Okay, so 7. After the wedding, Anne put on her enormous meltdown about the dress. The bridesmaids obviously didn't have a very positive opinion of Ruby, so they were easy to convince that it was meant as a genuine slight. My dad did what Anne apparently expected everyone to do by caving immediately because she was the bride. If me and my mom had done the same, Anne would basically have used it as an excuse to cut Ruby out of everyone's life. 8. She tried to do the same thing with Dave's groomsmen by insisting to him that they had said inappropriate things about the bridesmaids. The idea was to basically remove anybody that knew the truth about Dave from the general social circle so it wouldn't come up again. 9. Dave smelt a rat. He asked what exactly the issue was with Ruby's dress and what exactly his friends had said. Anne panicked and accused him of not loving her, choosing his friends over her, etc., and it turned into a massive argument. Dave was mad and very suspicious, so he started calling people up, trying to figure out what happened. 10. A couple of bridesmaids said that Anne was telling the truth about the groomsmen. She asked or pressured them to. But most were kind of weirded out by the request, and I think they successfully got that across to Dave. He called me to ask if I knew what was going on. Anne told Dave that I was just like him, caring about Ruby more than her, and also that I wasn't there when it happened. But the timing of the story didn't match up, so Dave called me anyways. That was a weird phone call. 11. At this point, he knew she was spouting bullshit, so he asked her upfront what was going on. She broke down and told Dave everything. 12. He was fuming. He texted us all to let us know about his past and then basically kicked Anne out. She came to us where she then had to explain again everything. Anne is absolutely shaken. I never considered her capable of this kind of deception and manipulation, and I don't think she has ever done something like this before. Contrary to what some commenters seem to believe, I don't hate my sister. I feel sorry for her, even though I'm really hurt by what she did, because she feels so guilty and absolutely miserable because she's worried that things will never be worked out with Dave. She's gone to bed now, very upset because her mom won't even look at her. She's fuming that Anne would deceive and hurt her, and so many other people like this. I do understand where she's coming from. My dad is also very shocked and hurt. Anne texted Ruby. She sent her a message explaining and apologizing, but obviously Ruby is really angry and upset. She just told her that she couldn't speak to her right now, but maybe she'd call her in the morning once they both had a chance to calm down. Dave is probably the most hurt out of everyone, and I understand why. He wouldn't speak to Anne, but he did tell me that he really thought that he had our acceptance, and that the letter she had written to him had been his most treasured possession ever since he received it, and to find out that it was false was absolutely crushing. I told him that we did accept him for who he was and that nobody blamed him, but I don't think it helped much. He has asked for distance from her family, and I understand why. I'm not sure when he'll be willing to speak to Anne again, or if he wants to be her husband after this. I wouldn't blame him if he goes on to find someone else. Thanks, Reddit. It turned out everyone was way off base, although I don't think anyone could have predicted this, but a lot of the comments were very insightful and gave me food for thought, despite everyone kind of looking in the wrong directions. Except the weirdos about the dress, you know who you are.
Wow.
So yeah, did you expect this?
It's just like a reality television.
Seems like it started out where she wasn't really comfortable with who he was. I was like, but I still really like him and I don't want him to go away. And then it turns into like okay, I'll just write a letter. And then it snowballs out of control, and then you're in the deep end, and it's like, I can't stop lying now.
But imagine Imagine how evil though, like she was just gonna cut out all of his supportive friends out of his life just to keep her lie going of her perfect life.
Are you not gonna do that to Baldur's friend? Hello, Martha.
Oh, it's done already. I'm just not sloppy like her.
I feel like this could totally have been a simple white lie that turned into something more and then more and more and snowballs out of control, and then it's like she has no if she tells the truth, she's a complete asshole and she's gonna lose him. But if she continues to lie, she has a chance. But it's still very true.
But she was obviously still embarrassed about him, because she could have gone to them before the wedding and been like,
true.
Okay, so I did something bad. I was gonna tell you guys about this a long time ago, but I was embarrassed. But yeah, this is Dave's past, and I told him that you guys already knew a while ago, and
So just
I
act like
wrote
you
this
know.
letter like, like she could have asked them for help if she really didn't want to lose them, but instead she decided to keep on going.
Spiraled out of control.
But I think it's hard to imagine yourself in her shoes. Like, it's a weird situation. So don't tell white lies, guys. They can become something huge.
Yikes.
And like I told you, she did give like this post was some while ago, and then she did do another update 2 weeks later. After that post, so I can read that for you as well. But if you wanna continue talking about anything, like,
I'd like to give my verdict to the question: am I the asshole?
Yeah.
Totally the asshole.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
No,
True.
not her. She's a good girl.
Yeah, I don't think she's part of the equation anymore.
No. She was taken out of it way back.
Yeah. So, do you want to hear the update?
I was hoping for a
it's not
a reality TV show from Olsen.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It's just like you have seen the TV show Beverly Hills 90210 now, and Selling Sunset, and you know the what's called the Women of Orange County. This is exactly when the scenario when the hot woman, the Patricia, was like, no, I don't want to, no.
No,
I don't have any reference now. I'm sorry, guys.
I
just have to lie.
90210 where Patricia lied to everyone about her
Yeah.
her
identity.
Husband to be called Olsen.
Yes.
Oh boy. Yes. So part 4, please go on.
Yeah, the update. It's more just like how everyone has reacted after this. It's not like super juicy like the other parts, but it's just like a conclusion of everything, I guess. So, the past 2 weeks have been very stressful. Anne and my mum have been fighting and crying for most of it. We learned that this deception of Anne's was not out of the blue. She has had this obsession with her image for a very long time. She confessed to a lot of stuff from secondary school and her job. Some of it was worrying and some of it was really scary and manipulative. I feel so distant from the person she has become. There's tension between us that I'm not sure will ever go away, even though it really pains me as well because she's my sister.
Yeah.
Once my dad heard some of the revelations, he decided that Anne should go to a therapist. Anne really struggled against the decision, which led to a massive fight between her and my dad. I've never seen my dad so angry, neither has he, which is probably why she eventually agreed. The therapist is supposed to help Anne process her emotions after everything that has happened and also hopefully get to the root of the problem. A lot of the comments suggested that our family wasn't healthy in the way we interact with each other. I'm conflicted on this because on one hand me and my mum were right that something was very wrong, but then that didn't mean that we didn't behave badly, if that makes sense. So I suggested family therapy. My parents are looking into it. Hopefully we can learn a bit more about boundaries and each other and eventually move on from this. Anne has been talking a lot to Ruby. From the sounds of it, Ruby is still very upset, but I have been taking the advice not to meddle so much in their relationship and I am leaving them to it. Me and Ruby still speak a lot, but not about Anne. Dave sent a message 2 days ago that I think has sadly resolved this terrible situation. After learning that this is part of a pattern of behavior, he doesn't think he wants to be in a marriage with Anne at all, as he feels that she hasn't only hurt him deeply, but deceived him about the type of person she is. I know from Ruby that he is also seeking therapy and has confided in friends about what happened, so he has a strong support system around him. I'm not getting involved with him other than that, as I think he deserves distance from our family after everything, but knowing he's okay makes me feel a little better.
Yes.
Anne has taken this news badly. When she first got the message, I think she had a panic attack. She was breathing really quickly and shaking and crying. She knows that Dave learned about her past from Ruby and is absolutely furious with Ruby for telling him. She is just as preoccupied with the thought of being someone divorced as she is with the fact that Dave is leaving her. I really hope that the therapist helps her get better, and although I'm not taking it as hard as my mom, I do feel guilty for not noticing this sooner because she's just not well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, it stopped. Okay.
Yeah, it's done.
She is not taking this well.
I was thinking. Yeah, I was like, we were just watching here also behind me. We're just.
Yep.
Yeah, you're just watching.
Oh, yeah. This was a big revelation. That this wasn't the first time she's been lying. She might be She might be a liar in nature, a pathological liar. Just like Olsen is a pathological kleptomaniac.
That's so long time ago today. So long time ago. It was only in Sweden.
Gosh. He hates Sweden. Olsen hates Sweden.
She has actually. Someone asked. What about the past is what
like the details
drove Dave to the decision of leaving her. So she did put in a few examples if you want to hear them.
I would love to hear them.
Yes.
Also,
she wrote, I don't know exactly what made him decide, maybe all of it put together, but there was a lot we found out that Ruby could have told him. I cut it out of the original text because of the word count. Anne selected friends on who she should be friends with. She falsified interest to get close to the right people, which wasn't too unsettling because I feel like a lot of people do that.
Teenagers.
To a certain extent. Teenagers are city.
Obsessed with status. A lot of the time, so.
Yeah. But she also created rumors to remove different people from friendship groups and regularly caused trouble in her own, in a way that it wasn't likely to be traced back to her, to make her seem like the best friend and get rid of certain people.
Very manipulative.
Clever.
Some of the factors she considered were things like weight, interests, their significant others, and sometimes just the size of the group. If she felt the circle was getting too big, someone had to be cut. She performed deliberately badly on tests to fit her image. E.g., her image is that she is not good at chemistry. So she had to deliberately answer some of the chemistry questions wrong so she wouldn't get higher than a C. That's pretty weird.
How old is she then? I'm so confused now.
This must be like in
18,
high school or something.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, are the teenagers getting married? That makes so much sense.
No, but she's like 29 now when they're getting married. Like, this is stuff from her past.
Yeah, okay.
Anne made life deliberately difficult for teachers that she felt she wouldn't have if everything was right. Sorry, this is quite a difficult concept to explain, but basically a lot of the things she does is to make things right. Like an ideal world, basically.
Yeah.
So if a teacher didn't fit well into the world, she would deliberately incite other students to make their lives worse, etc. Always while looking like she was a good student, of course. Mm-hmm. She also disliked teachers who felt she had an image of her that didn't match up with her own. At least 2 of those teachers I knew left, and one of them was even fired.
Oh boy.
She also made the life of people at her work terrible and caused many of them to leave over the years. She spread rumors about them, gave them incorrect instructions to make them look incompetent and embarrass them. She would do tiny annoying things like take their supplies, sometimes even replacing them with different ones, just to mess with their head. Large parts of Anne's lies have become her personality. We think that she feels genuinely emotionally affected by things she insisted people did to her that we now know were lies. Even though they didn't happen, she seems to feel actually hurt by them. Interests she made up that she ended up taking to the extreme and are still hobbies until today. She's based major life decisions on what's right and her lies. There's a lot of tiny individual stories that she told us or that we are beginning to piece together, but that's kind of the gist of what we know.
A lot of this explains kind of why she took this lie to the extremes. Given that,
it seems like she
pathological liar.
has done that most of her life.
Is like, my husband doesn't really, or the guy that I really like doesn't really fit the image that he's supposed to be. It's like an ex criminal.
Like honestly, like the easiest thing would have been to just not be with him and find someone else to marry, of course. But it seems like she would rather make things fit into her life than to just get something else. Like she did, like with getting the teachers fired and stuff. It seemed like she would rather change stuff. So she would rather just him lose all his friends and never get to talk about his addiction ever.
True. She's obviously a psychopath.
It's wild.
Mm-hmm. And she's a toxic friend. If you watch the video on YouTube called Psych2Go about toxic friendships, then you will learn a lot about it.
Oh.
Dropping some videos here for you guys.
It seems like she was very manipulative, very aggressively trying to cut out everyone that doesn't fit into her right image. And this kind of from the original context of the marriage and trying to cut out his all the context from his side and lose all the or kind of get rid of all the evidence that he was someone else.
Yeah.
Then she wants him to be is
true.
Really fits in with that image.
Yeah.
Insane.
This is like a
and like she was even prepared to just like let Ruby go, who had been her friend since she was like 5.
Which is crazy. And it really shows that how much she cares about her image.
Yeah. And I mean, she must have been good at it since no one noticed until now, but she's been doing it like since she was a kid or a teenager.
This is her life, kinda. It's not like something she did accidentally there.
Not everyone can have Olsen's perfect life, where he got a prize. He got prizes for like English and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the house I live in, I just got it for free because I just acted like I'm disabled.
Yeah, you were
handicapped.
just like. Yes, this is a perfect. This is the perfect apartment for someone with a handicap, with a circular staircase. Perfect.
Don't believe anything he says. He's a
manipulative liar.
Whoa.
Pathological liar.
Just exposed him. But yeah, this is pretty wild. Like I know, like a lot of teenagers fall into the habit of like making small lies and stuff to their parents. But this is a lot wilder.
Isn't this
than
what
that.
all like teenage drama shows are about? Like people try to keep up their image while they actually are someone else. There's definitely
all reality TV is like this.
Every teen drama is about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. You're very right, did they?
I just realized, Marta, this segment was like about 15 minutes now. The episode, if you have everything in it, it would have been almost 1 hour and 40 minutes, maybe? It will be a record episode.
bleep that out.
Yeah, the last episode I did do another story first though.
That's true.
Yeah.
It wasn't only
Are
Are we
this
gonna
stuff.
wrap it up for today?
But this would be
It's-
like a
it's-
lot more than an hour.
Yes, we have
Yeah,
to
I
wrap it
think
up.
so.
Wrapped up in
Yeah.
the boat time.
This
And,
is supposed to be a half an hour. But yeah, this
wrap
is
it
a
up
wild
today.
story. I hope you liked it.
It was a wild ride.
I liked it personally.
Thank you for. No,
Snæfríður,
d-
did you like it?
I loved
don't
it,
call-
guys. I
don't call
loved it. I
Snæfríður.
Oh,
appeared at the time.
Snæfríður is here.
Bye, Snæfríður. Bye, bye.
Snæfríður was
Bye.
naked almost. That was weird.
Yeah, I
Austin,
didn't
what have you
expect
been
her
up
to
to?
be here.
Oh, okay. I slept with her.
Oh my god!
How was she?
She's not related to me at all. I lied about that too.
What about her husband?
What did... Yeah, I was gonna say... What's
Dave.
What did he say about it?
You know,
Jeff?
she just needs a younger chap to help her.
In
Yeah.
the
A younger.
Was her husband watching, or...?
Cannot tell you guys.
okay, thanks guys for
Yes,
thanks
Katie,
everyone
wrap it
for
up.
listening to this amazing podcast called Stormkastid. This has been
Yeah.
the Reddit Am I
Thank
the Asshole
you.
special number 3.
Yeah.
And Christmas
Yes.
Yule Lad calendar Advent thing number 1. Number Olsen says 2.
Yes.
One and a half, I would say, because 2.
We're never gonna have a
The other one
we
is
had a
kinda-
half an episode before, and now we have 1.5. And next one is going to be 2.5. Don't miss it, guys. See you then. Bye bye.
Yes.
12 and a half
Yes.
days of Christmas.
And now we'll cut to the first part of the Christmas story. So listen and goodbye.
Episode 1. The email. We're in a dark room. The light from the laptop screen lights up a small part of the room, where we can see someone furiously typing something. We can't see the person's face, due to the fact that this is a story, and if we know who is writing it, it will ruin the illusion. Duh. We slowly move closer to the laptop screen, and we can hear very stormy weather outside. The rain pounds the weather like it wants to get in and be with the person who is writing. To whom it may concern. I don't know if you know me, but I know y'all, and I think y'all might want to read this email in your latest podcast. 3 will stand, but all will fall. When all will be revealed, some will cry, some might die. There is no way to escape. The truth will be revealed. Have a good day, at least for now. Kind regards, your secret little helper. The person moved the mouse pointer past the email address they were sending to, stormkastid@gmail.com, and down all the way to the send button. The mouse pointer stopped there for a while. Click. The email was sent.